Every time. He opens his one eye. The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's a Sunday and there are no classes. Not just a Sunday though, but the festival as well. From my window I can already see some people at the summer booth slinging noodles on 2 plates, or people with a craving for low quality foods. I throw back a handful of my morning meds and ponder how to spend the day. There will be a few exams in the coming week, but I don't consider those as ominous as others, or I'm not as worried about them as I probably should be. With no urgent obligations regarding education, I should be free to spend the day at the festival as I like. Finishing my morning routine, I exited the doorway, intending to go out and find some to eat. Passing by his door, I decided to see what Kenji's up to today out of impulse. I'm curious as if he has any plans since everyone is doing something. Then again, I can picture him having built a soundproof shelter at his room, or possibly something like a fort, complete with no girls allowed sign, and with the girls crossed out and body crudely swirled underneath it. Knocking on his door, which is luckily devoid of any kind of sign, I hear again the unsettling clicking of at least 10 locks being pulled back. The door opens up a crack. Who is it? You're supposed to ask that before you open the door. Oh, it's you. Damn, it's early. It's not really that early. What is it, man? Nothing. Just gonna ask what you're gonna do today. Half school is out there already. Out where? Why? What? What? It's today's special. Why are they there? Who are? I can hear them. It's loud. Don't tell me. Has the invasion begun? He suddenly looks more alarmed. What day is it, man? Yeah, I guess you can't see the big wooden booths outside and people selling stuff. What the hell are you talking about? I have my curtains closed at all times to support the snipers. It's the festival, you know that, right? Ah, shit, that's today. Ah, damn it. I can't believe I forgot. I don't have my fort finished yet. This is bad. This is gonna be a very bad day. It's good you told me this, man. This is gonna be a bad day. Why? Oh man, they gotta be everywhere. There's people outside my window, socializing. Kenji rubs his temples nervously, suddenly looking very ill. It's gonna be loud as hell. Damn, I was going to go out today, but now it's ruined. Everything's ruined. It's awful. This sucks. What the hell? This really sucks. I can't go anywhere now. There's nowhere to run. Kenji seems nervous. You could even say he's majorly freaking out. I can't believe it. So that's what today was. Damn, and I couldn't even prepare for it. I couldn't even brace myself, and now it's here and I can't do anything. You should have told me this earlier, dude. I mean, at least, I know, but I could have known earlier. Imagine what I could have accomplished. Sorry, I thought you knew. So, I guess you're not going to do anything today. Well, it's even good. Yesterday was really windy, so I thought today would be cold. It's not, though, so there's no reason to just stay inside. Yeah, you should check the festival out. Kenji groans and covers his face with his hands. No, I can't do it. They'll eat me alive out there, I know it. That has to be a joke, but he said it with such a straight face, relatively straight. What are you going to do? We should hang out in here. You can help me build my fort. We might still make it if we work together. You know, I wonder if with Kenji's bad end route thing, if, like, it leads to Hisao being like, you know what, I'm gonna help Kenji out with this whole thing. I don't know. Well, I joined the art club, so I guess I'll go with them. You did what? I joined the art club. Man, that was a bad move, really bad. You don't know what kind of girls that are in the art club. Troubled, angsty cuties who tear your heart out and eat it raw. Well, I know one art club member, and I don't really see Rin suddenly becoming a psychotic murderer. That seems unlikely. Don't say that. Don't fool yourself. You have no idea what you're dealing with here, man. They are the worst kind. But he says that about everyone. They drag you in with all this fancy shit, and when you least expect it, bam! Bam what? Kenji seems slightly fazed at my skepticism, but not any less loony. You know, this whole situation, I've been through Rin's route before and Emi's route, and I just noticed that this scene plays out differently, depending on who you're focusing on. So I wonder what it would be like when it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to like go talk to Lily. Just like, you're gonna what? Oh, Shizune and Misha, you got a what? I've been through articles rap, I can't remember this scene. So he probably freaks out as well, but I don't know to what extent. And I wonder what it'd be like when it's Kenji's right. He's just like, thanks, Hisao, you're gonna help me out. Yeah, screw this conspiracy shit. We're gonna blow this shit open. Kenji seems slightly phased by skepticism, but not interested. Doesn't matter. Tread carefully, man. Tread carefully. He fingers his scalp nervously, faster and faster, like he's trying to start a fire, and then slowly begins to calm down once the panic attack finishes running its course. I'm gonna have to find some place to hide in a safe haven, and then knock the lights out of myself so I don't have to experience this horrible day. I have the perfect thing for that. I must be there now. You know, that just makes him sound like the Grinch. He's just like, it's Christmas, I better knock myself out. Don't go to the festival. Okay. Later, dude. The door slowly closes with a low creak, and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. You know, as amusing as it is, kind of like when you really think about it, Kenji's obviously not just like with like physical kind of thing. He's obviously, I don't know, maybe it's schizophrenia, I don't know really, but it's definitely something. The happy hubbub of the crowd reached me as I pushed myself through the main door and stepped outside. The school grounds were transformed into festival grounds over yesterday and this morning. Colorful stands line up the main walkways to the main entrance to the school building. Some people are still carrying stuff to and fro, but behind most counters are relaxed students who look like they are good to go. Most of all students are beat up early to finish preparations. Feeling of guilt is true, but it still goes away. I'm just a lonely transfer student after all. Some visitors are already strolling around the grounds. There are some young families with the parents trying to keep up with their open enthusiastic offspring. A few students of our own accompanied by their parents. And a lot of old and young people who are here for no reason, I can imagine. But I am burst into life, and the principal's squeaky voice announces the opening of the festival over the PA system. Everyone applauds politely, if a bit unenthusiastically. It's a school festival. We didn't really have festivals at my old high school. It feels kind of old-fashioned, especially considering the school I came from, but it's still somewhat exciting. They all feel sweet after the first week of hard work, despite me lying on the hospital bed for 4 months prior to this. I recall even wishing that I could go to math lessons during my stint at the hospital. I can't remember the program for the festival, even though Minter went through it during class just the other day. I step off the dorm steps, intending to take a tour around the grounds to see all the stuff that I was to set up, but I only make it down to the bottom of the stairs. A few people are studying Rin's mural on the wall, while the artist herself is lounging on the sidelines, leaning against the wall and looking extremely bored and mildly under the weather. Good morning. Hello. How's it going? Nowhere. I'm stuck. What do you mean, stuck? I mean, I can't walk stuck. I think my legs are out of order because of yesterday. Does it hurt? It's hard to say. Maybe. The strain of working on a mural was greater than she let me know. I thought it was just a bit of tired muscles or something. I mean to ask something thorough, but Rin swiftly moves on to another topic. Teacher's friend came by. Then they headed into town for lunch and asked me to go. It was a good thing my legs hurt so much. But you're stuck sitting there? That's not good. I'll just wait till I can walk again. It should be either sooner or later if you think about it for a while. Teacher was happy that I finished the mural. He should be. But I wonder if it's finished after all. Oh. I thought yesterday that I had done everything, but now I'm not so sure anymore. I should paint more details. Maybe. Probably it's very hard to decide. Finished or not, the mural looks great in broad daylight. All those feet and faces and eyes. Various human body parts repeated over and over in a wildly mutated, mostly disfigured variety are the main elements. They are rough-looking as if thoughtlessly placed and rudimentally painted, but a great deal of thought and care has gone into each and every one of them, including the nipples. Does this one have a frog growing out of his head? It's a goldfish. Where? You talk about this? What's that? I wonder if YouTube's like, hey. You may be like, oh, this is all fancy, obscure art, but no. What's that? It's nothing. Anyway, the wall is so wide I have to turn my neck from side to side to see the entire painting. It's hard to consider it as a single piece. The elements don't seem to fit together, but I guess they do create some kind of whole. Just like, look at this, I got a bag of feet! Abstract as it is, I have no idea what it's supposed to be portraying, but it looks nice, that's enough for me. It's like something out of Yume Nikki. I set myself next to Rin, leaning against a wall like she does. The happy noise of the festival are becoming louder as more and more folks enter the grounds. The homes are far from the main attractions in the main building and the strands around the courtyard, so most visitors have not found their way here yet. Rin just comes onto the scene. A somewhat bored expression settles on Rin's face, making her look detached from everything that's going around her. She is being awfully quiet. I wonder if she's in pain. You know what? My sitting posture is a bit of a pain in the legs as well. Sit properly here. Move the guitar out of the way, because it's in the way. There we go. So, what did the art people say about your mural? My question wakes Rin from her daydreaming as she lazily turns her face towards me. I'm not sure. I think they liked it. Maybe they did. What about you? Are you happy with the mural? Because I kind of anticipated it to be terrible if you weren't happy. Rin tilts her head, biting her lower lip. I think it came out decently. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It just is, I guess. I'm alright at being empty-minded. Can I ask something else? What does this painting really portray? I thought about it yesterday when you said that it doesn't portray anything. But that's a logical fallacy, isn't it? You can't make something out of nothing, not even art. Rin frowns and turns her head back towards the clouds. I don't know, I'm not really good at explaining things. It's just a mural, there's nothing special to it. I said it already. She sounds annoyed at my inquiries. I didn't know what I'd paint, so I decided to paint just a mural. It's a mural that portrays a mural. No, wait, I just thought up a better way to say it. It portrays itself. So, its mural is at the maximum, at least as far as I can do. So if you think it has some meaning, I think that's the same as this one has. That makes no sense. Meaning, I feel the corners of my mouth turning upwards into a smile. That's just a tiny bit bothered. Man, it's just like the whole thing. That is a pretty abstract painting mural thing right there. I have never understood art in the deepest meaning of the word. Yeah, art is pretty weird. It's like, you get like some people just like, I remember reading about someone that would like literally throw up paint onto a canvas and be like, such art! Art? That's just vomiting out colors! What's so arty about that? You might as well just take a shit on it and just be like, oh, that is such wonderful art. Abstract and just those type of art can be weird. Interruption? You know, what's going on here? What is that? It makes it look like some kind of afro, but it's probably not. You've already read that. I get the basics, how art is supposed to be only a means for exchanging ideas and thoughts. However, I never learned how I should interpret a piece of art to somehow define what the artist intends to say through it. Well, it's kind of like the same thing with, you know, like people when it comes to writing. It's like, what do you think the author intended by this? Sometimes they might have actually, you know, made it meaningful. Other times just like, no, it is exactly what it is, you know? Just like, no, didn't mean any deep meaning in these wording here. It's just simply facts of what's going on in the story. But they're like, but it could be hidden symbolism. It's like, no! Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Who gives a shit? Either way. Well, people who like that, I suppose. It can be interesting, but hey, I'm rambling again. I know it's not any special skill, but somehow my brain never can connect art with anything else than what I see. All I see is a mural. I can combine the technical skills after all. Even I know the difference between bad art and mediocre art and good art. But that's as far as I can go, so don't ask me about meanings, Rin. Her reply sure made me reluctant to ask her about it any further, either. So, what are you doing when you get on your feet? Nothing. Nothing, but there's a festival. Don't you want to go have some fun? I'm fine like this. You don't like socializing much, do you? I think I'm arguing more for her than for myself at this point. It's not that I'm particularly thrilled about the festival. I'm just a bit curious to see what it's like, and that's about it. Her answer is unsurprising. No, I don't. I guess me neither in the end. Well, me too. I'm not very good at socializing. You should go if you want to. I know, but I can keep you company. I'm not used to all this just yet, so it's okay to take it easy. I can leave, though, if you want to be alone. I like it if you are here. We circle around each other with words, but eventually end up somewhere. Her saying that makes me feel oddly happy, so I stay. Her presence is something I like too. The odd, warm aura of serenity that she seems to emanate makes it comfortable to be silent. I really like that. We watch people walk by, the two of us silent, everyone else chatting happily among themselves. Students are leading their families to the dorms to show their rooms. They pass us in the mural, maybe a glance at it once or twice. I pay less attention to them and more to my companion, trying to figure out my way past her cryptic, unreadable wall of a face. Rin's eyes flicker restlessly from one person to another as they walk by. Is she waiting for people to stop at the mural, maybe secretly hoping someone would comment on it? I don't think anyone would assume she was the artist. We're just sitting here like a pair of hobos after all, and she doesn't even have hands. I wonder if it's even in Rin's style to fish for compliments. She seems so aloof. More people walk by, some of them pointing their fingers at the mural, exchanging words that I can't make out. Someone drops a snow cone on his shoe. Too bad for him. Everyone seems to like it. I suggested tentatively throwing a topic in the stale summer air separating us. Rin doesn't answer right away, but by now I am mostly used to her occasional slowness when she must talk. It's like she takes great care picking her words, which is really unbelievable when you consider the jumble that comes out of her mouth. I want to make it so that you can just look at it without thinking. Then I realize that it doesn't make any sense, so it becomes something like a mix of this and that. From far away, it looks like someone vomiting a herd of butterflies on the wall, which is exactly what that obnoxious president person didn't want. Is that word that? What word? That. What is the word for more than one butterfly? Butterflies? Oh, like a herd or a school or a heap. Oh, I don't know, a flock maybe? Maybe people like butterfly vomit. Well, it's like I said, there is like some like artists like vomited colors onto a canvas and people are just like, beautiful! Rin looks at the mural looking surprisingly unhappy. The middle could be better. Usually I like in-betweens, but this was a pain in the butt. Not literally, of course. Then again, I did get that too. I guess it was literally after all. Don't be so critical of yourself. She looks at me funnily but shuts up. About this point I start thinking if I should really leave and do something more constructive with my Sunday. This is the pinnacle of social failure. A whole free day, a festival right outside my doorsteps, and what do? Sit here with Rin, two bystanders with nothing to do except to think what a pity it is to just be a bystander. Even realizing how pitiful it is, I don't do anything. I don't stand up and take off for a day of fun. Fidget. Rin is shuffling about restlessly, constantly swinging one leg over the other knee and then back again. She has a very irritated look on her face. Interruption? Is something wrong? Yes, no, yes. She suddenly hops up on her feet. It's surprising. I thought she was still rendered immobile, but apparently that's not the case. I have to go find Emmy or someone. I need some help with something. I can help you. No, it's okay. One of us has to stay here in case something happens. Don't be ridiculous. Nothing even remotely interesting has happened since I came here, except that one guy who dropped a snow cone on his foot. Let me help you, since I'm bored. So what is it? Rin's lips flatten tightly against each other into an almost perfectly horizontal line. She closes her eyes and draws in a deep breath. When she opens her eyelids, the frighteningly stern look in her dark eyes takes me aback. Hisao, you might not want to hear this, or maybe you do, I don't know, but it doesn't matter, and even if it would, you are not leave me any choice. I'm having my period and I need some help regarding that. However, I don't feel that our relationship is yet on the level where I could allow you to put my head down in the girl's toilet even if you offer to. I was just thinking there, just like, that's probably where it's gonna be, isn't it? That's why you should stay here while I go and look for Emmy. As blood rushes to my cheeks like the rising tide, my brain's dry to desperately search for an answer. The only thing I can think of is how that was the most coherent thing I have heard coming out of Rin's mouth during those 4 days I've known her. And I butchered that dialogue completely. Yes. What was the meat on Rin's eye as I turn my face aside, pretending I'm looking at someone's parents. In the corner of my eye, I see Rin turning on her heel and walking off without further ado. I feel like going to hide under some rock and become Patrick. I wonder how long Rin will be gone, or if she will return at all. Yeah, still got these feet for sale if you want some. She does return, eventually appearing seemingly out of nowhere and sitting back to where she was next to my place. I'm back. She says it flatly, like my blunder never happened. I'd prefer to forget the whole matter as well, so I keep quiet. Time passes in standstill. The sun gleams from high above the main building, hits me directly in the eyes, and I just squint instead of moving. Now that's neat that they add in the shadow for that. In a bit, it becomes painful to keep my eyes open just a little, and my temples start aching. Ah, my head hurts. I think this day gives me a headache. Can you believe it? Are you hungry? How is that related to a headache? Besides, I've got a pot noodle for that. But I can't eat it because I have to read this whole time. It's not I ask because I am. Oblivious seriousness melts my irritation with its ridiculousness. I find the corners of my mouth turning slightly upwards again. You know what? So am I. I'll go get some food for us. What do you want? My treat? Doesn't matter. Returning with the food, I give one portion to Rin, taking the other for myself, and we dig in without a word. Rin looks upwards, fork in hand, a fork hanging out the corner of her mouth. Full of clouds. I always thought they were forts of the sky or something like that, because you can't touch them. You thought like that when you were a kid? No, last week. Maybe because sometimes my thoughts feel like clouds, fluffy and white and slow. Like the sky was in my mind, like my mind was the sky. Like my mind was the sky. The sky reminds? Close your eyes and think of sky. You won't be able to think of anything else until you stop. I try it. It works. Magic? I forgot what she even said. Opening my eyes, I see Rin studying me with her eyes and chirpy chirp chirp. It feels uncomfortable because she doesn't say anything. I turn away. Clouds are water, evaporated water. You know, they say that almost all the water in the world will, at some point of its existence, be a part of a cloud. Every drop of tears and blood and sweat that comes out of you, it will be a cloud. All the water inside your body, too. It goes up there sometime after you die. It might take a while, though. Your explanation is better than any of mine. Because it's true. That must be it. I carry on eating the food before it gets cold. If I was in that position, I'd be like, ah, man, what were clouds again? I forget what they were. And he gave a very kind of like detailed, nicely explained explanation as to what a cloud is. And it also makes perfect sense why it's always so bloody cloudy in the UK. Because there's a lot of rain. The wall offers a bit of less shade as the sun resolves around the dome of the sky. And the afternoon is already slowly making way for the evening, so our lunch becomes more of a dinner, or whatever the word is for an irregular meal like this. Despite when I decide to call it, it certainly hits the spot. I haven't eaten a bit since forever. You know, actually, that kind of like, you know, with clouds, you can tell when it's gonna rain because they go dark. So I'd imagine it now like this. It's just like the clouds are going, oh, I really need them. Oh, I can't hold it any longer. Rain. Despite what I decided certainly hits the spot, I haven't eaten a bit since forever. My appetite filled as I let out a satisfied sigh. Rin hasn't eaten all of hers, but seems to be done with her food as well. I lean back, taking in the atmosphere. The crowd is thinned already, but the activities are still going. Everyone seems to be enjoying themselves. And why not? It's warm, kind of perfect summer day, when it's hot, but not too hot for tumbles. The sun will set soon. Time really has flown by. We've been sitting here for 6 hours. Yes, we have. Man, I must hurt the legs. I mean, sitting here recording for like, I don't even know how long to record now, but usually an hour or so, and I'm just like, But sit like that for 6 hours? Well, sitting down in any way for 6 hours, even if you move around a bit? Oh, that does not sound pleasant. You want to do something else now? Yeah, no, not really. You know. She adjusts her position and leans against the wall, and I follow her lead, relaxing my own body. For minutes on end, we sit there without saying a word. I'm trying to feel Rin's mood from her demeanor, the tension of her muscles, the tiny expressions fleeting on her face. It's no use, she's unreadable as always. The crowd swells to and fro, people happily chattering with each other. Very few people pay real attention to the mural, and even less kids. I fiddle with a few odd pebbles absent-mindedly. The act of doing so, just for the sake of doing something. The pinnacle of idleness. Oh, I know that feeling when you're like bored sitting on the grass with nothing to do, you just pick the grass. You're just doing the similar thing, only it's with pebbles. Inch by inch, the sun creeps lower and lower towards the tree line, changing the color of the sky closer, rising from golden yellow to orange and red as the moment of sunset draws near. I feel like my stomach is filled with lead after eating so heavily, but the brick wall feels surprisingly comfortable against my back. I try to fight against the drowsy feeling that has overwhelmed me to no avail. Sleepy. Fireworks. I wake up with a start. Hello, boom! Reverberates through the school grounds. After images of bright sparks flash through my vision like stars. Can you imagine how you fall asleep outside and you're awoken by fires? Like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Something rises towards the skies from the direction of the sports field. A tail of fire trails behind it until a burst of red and yellow flame lights the sky high above the school with a loud boom. Boom! Fireworks. The sudden flash of light against the canvas of the night sky wakes me to realize that it's actually dark already. How long did I sleep? I feel groggy and can't feel my right arm. As I attempt to flex it, I realize why. Rin is leaning heavily against my shoulder, almost falling on my lap. She is fast asleep, not even fazed by the fireworks. Her mouth is slightly open and her eyes are peacefully closed, a sleeping childlike face of the innocent. I shake Rin gently with my free arm, trying to wake her up, or failing that, move her so that my other arm is liberated from its pinch. Rin's face twitches and her eyelids shut tighter, as if to resist against waking up. She gradually opens her eyes, but keeps them half closed, letting the light from the fireworks sneak just past her eyelashes so that her green irises mirror the bright flash of the explosions, then looks up at me and frowns. Just a while longer, okay? Rin's voice is drowsy and slow, leaving her almost unintelligible muttered words hanging lazily in the air. It seems she is not entirely aware of the situation. Rin's head drops back on my shoulder as she leans against me with all her weight. She snuggles against my side, trying to make herself comfortable, but make me feel very uncomfortable at the same time. I become intensely, almost painfully aware of Rin's warm body and the deep, peaceful movements of her chest against my arm. Her breathing soon returning to the even rhythm. I can't help admiring her gift for sleeping, or the ease of mind of hers to use someone she has known for less than a week as a pillow. The rockets rise up to the sky one at a time, breaking into flowers of red, green, and gold, accompanied by the oohs and ahs of the audience. I try to push Rin's discerning proximity out of my mind, for what can I do about it? I just hope her short while really is that. One by one, the glittery bursts are born and die in a blink of an eye, coloring the dark night sky into a constantly changing abstract painting. I listen to the low booms of the explosions and Rin's quiet breathing, trying to clear my own head of the post-awakening disorientation. Thankfully, just a while longer really proves to be just a while, as Rin stirs from her slumber and wakes up again before the fireworks are over. I fell asleep. She finally opens her eyes completely and blinks 3 times. You fell asleep on top of me twice. You didn't like it? Well, despite the inconclusive stammering, Rin sits upright, drawing herself away from me. Well, you are happy. It's a lie, she weighs next to nothing, but I have to get a jab back at her, even if it's under the belt. My mock protest fails to draw any reaction as Rin's attention draws upwards to the flashes of the fireworks. She seems hypnotized by the colorful play of the explosions. A slight tingling sensation goes up and down in my arm as blood starts to circulate again. It's unpleasant, but it helps me to get rid of this dizzy feeling. More and more rockets rise up to the sky, the bright colors of the explosions reflecting from the clouds. Two of us stare at the fireworks fixedly through the canopy of the trees, enthralled by the show. We would get a vastly better view of the sky if we moved even a couple of yards, but none of us bothers to even suggest it. I really do like fireworks, even though looking at them makes me feel kinda sad. I think it's like they want you to look at them so bad that they are loud and bright, but then someone looks, they're already gone. It's like they were not even real. They are real, I can tell you that. All this is real, you know. If you think about it, nothing really lasts for long. Even something like my life or yours is just a blink of an eye in the history of everything. Like one of those rockets, poof, and we're gone. Well, we're here, aren't we? Yeah, this is reality. Rin sitting next to me, the loud bangs of the fireworks, the vast unlimited sky. These things are definitely real, even though they won't stay here forever. I feel warm inside, and I wonder if it's because Rin is so close to me, or just a feeling of being alive. I don't really know what I should say next. It's alright, maybe I'm just talking to myself. But, you know, fireworks are pretty, but in the end, isn't it somehow silly to spend so much money on a fraction of a second worth of pretty sparkles? Rin rips her gaze off the still ongoing spectacle and leans backwards, looking at me with a repulsed face. Wow, I never expected to be such a cynic. Cynic is a pretty harsh word. An accurate word for me, though. Rather than that, I think of myself as a realist. It's just like, I would be more cynical than anything else, really. Isn't a realist just a word for what a cynic calls himself? The final rocket goes up with a bang of silver and blue, leaving the grounds eerily silent for a moment until the crowd starts moving towards the main gate like a cattle herd. Wisps of grey smoke drift towards the domes from the slots field. The pungent, sulphurous smell of gunpowder it carries along feels like it sticks to my hair and clothes. Was that it? I think so. I stand up and stretch my sore back. Sleeping against a brick wall wasn't such a good idea after all. Rin stands up as well and turns to face me with an expectant gaze on her tired face. Although she seems to have trouble focusing her eyes, she is looking straight at me, something I feel has not occurred too often in the past week. So suddenly realize we have been almost on a date here. Ow! By accident, even if we did nothing. But it wasn't, so why blood is rushing to my cheeks and my speech stammering. I don't know what I should say, especially since it seems Rin is waiting for me to say something, but luckily she solves my problems for me. Good night, Hisao. She gives me one more lingering look, measuring me from tip to toe, and turns around on her heel and skips off, disappearing into the crowd. No, it kind of makes sense that she would fall asleep like that, because she's been awake for God knows how long doing that painting. Okay, good night. I'm left standing there, giving my response to the cooling night air. The festival turned out to be nothing like I expected. I ended up spending all day in one spot with Rin, even though none of us agreed on or suggested that we do anything. I just didn't have anything better to do, and evidently neither did she. Rin's warmth lingers for a while longer in my body before disappearing into the falling night. Rin's rite begins? Yep. A flower, some painting, abstract things. Was that a bit of a hint there? I like how each character gets an animation though, that's nice. I wonder, that could have probably been symbolic. It looked like the very definition of being spaced out, like physically how it would look, you know, just like everything is just kind of blurry and all that. I don't know. It's already 8:30, but this morning's class has not yet begun. But this route certainly has just begun. We were supposed to have physics, but the teacher is nowhere to be seen. And we will see what this route will have in store for next time. So, is there anything else to comment on in that little animation there? It was like, yeah, when the abstract imagery came up when she was painting, so maybe that's a hint that she does actually think more than she lets on, and she actually did have some inspiration when like painting or something. I don't know. I can't really remember this route all that well. But nonetheless, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.